getting into 40-degree water, isn't that gonna give you hypothermia? That's a question I get all the time. Is cold plunging safe? Today we're gonna dive into it, so come on into the forge and let's talk about it. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Johnson. I'm the owner and founder of the Forge Mobile Cold Plunge here in Midland, Texas. And if you don't know, I've done almost 1,000 cold plunges, been doing it for 3.5 years, and I once went 365 days straight. So I get the question all the time, is cold plunging safe? Won't you get hypothermia? Is it safe is gonna be a completely individual question. There are a lot of people that probably should not cold plunge, and just to get this out of the way right off the bat, you need to consult your doctor. Even if you're fit and healthy, you should consult your doctor. Make sure you don't have anything going on. Maybe do a physical before you start. If you have any kind of cardiac issues, you should probably not be cold plunging, because you do get a major cardiac response whenever you get in these things. I've noticed that right whenever I start, my beats per minute will spike and then they'll drop off and fall really, really low. My dad, for example, is in his 60s and has some heart stuff. There's no way I would ask him to get in a cold plunge. A couple things that I think everybody should be doing other than checking with their doctor is, when you first start, have a spotter. I come from the scuba diving background. We never dive alone. I think whenever you first start, you should definitely have a spotter. I did whenever I started. My wife would come out there and make sure that everything was okay. I was gonna be able to pull my fat butt out of that tub. Don't plunge alone. Start with somebody else. It's always good having a friend there going through the suck with you anyway. Another thing that you should consider is, especially if you're in a cold climate, as soon as you get out of these tubs, get dry. So we're gonna get into story time for this one. I'm gonna tell you the worst experience I ever had cold plunging. So I had been cold plunging for like a month and a half, right whenever I started. It was late December, and my best friend, my wife, and my son and me all went to his ranch in the hill country in Texas. And there's this little town there called Castell, and the Llano River runs right through it. And for New Year's Day, they were gonna do a polar plunge. Shout out Castell, Texas. So this polar plunge is really cool. New Year's Day polar plunge, there's like 150 people that show up. We all meet at this little store, and it's about, I don't know, maybe 200 yards down to the river. This guy's in his Jeep with the top down, and he's playing like this Viking charge music, like fight music. It was really cool. We're all walking behind him. We're all marching down there. It's about 40 degrees outside, and that water had to be in the low 40s. I told my wife and my best friend on the way there, because I was in a really weird mindset at that time. I told them, I'm not coming out of that water till people start freaking out. Because I'd already been training and I knew what it was about. I knew that I could stay in there for a little while. The longest I had gone up to that point was probably 6 or 7 minutes. So they blow a horn, we all go charging into the water, and within a minute, I go out like up to my neck in the deep part of the river, and within a minute, 80% of the people are out of the water. Within 3 minutes, everybody else except for me is out of the water. I ended up staying out there for 15 minutes to the sound of people going, is that guy okay? Is he all right? Do we need to go get him? At the 15-minute mark, I came out, and I was cold already, as you can imagine. When I came out, I didn't dry off immediately. There was a guy from the newspaper there, and he wanted to interview me. So I stood there and I did an interview with him. I'm just in my shorts and nothing else. And that took probably 5-7 minutes. And then as I start walking back up to the store to get dried off, a guy from an online newspaper caught me, and then he did a 5 or 7 minute interview with me. So at this point, I'd been out of the water for 10 or 15 minutes and I hadn't dried off, and it's 40 degrees outside. So I'm starting to like convulse shiver. We had parked my sprinter van like 100 feet away from the store in an alley because it was the only parking. And I told my wife, hey, I need the keys. I got to go get dried off. I'm really cold. Well, I walked down that alley by myself with the keys, and by this time I'm like trembling, and I get to the door lock and I'm like jackknifing. I'm trembling so hard, and I cannot get the key in the door. I can't get it in the slot. And I was like, this is how it ends, right? Like, you idiot, you killed yourself. They're gonna find you in an alley. It was really dumb, huge mistake. I should have dried off. I think if I would have dried off, I would have been just fine. I stopped shivering when we got back to Midland. That was probably 3 or 4 hours later. And for like a week or two, I had thermoregulation problems. Like, I was cold. If it got below 80 degrees, I was cold. So definitely dry off as soon as you get out. Probably the second worst time I ever had cold plunging. I had a low-grade fever on a Saturday, and then I woke up Sunday and I had a really bad fever. I had the chills, I felt horrible, but it was in that first year where I was trying to hit that 365 days straight. So talked myself into it. I didn't want to miss my day. I went and got in the cold plunge, and it was excruciating. And I'd already been doing it for like 6 months, so I knew what the cold water was about, but oh my God, it was the worst thing I'd ever been through. And that messed my thermoregulation up too. For like days afterwards, I would have like hot and then cold, hot and then cold. So definitely don't get in it if you have a fever or you're running temperature, and dry off as soon as you get out, guys. Don't plunge alone. Check with your doctor. Make sure you're healthy before you get in these things. I want you cold plunging, but I want you doing it safe. Guys, I hope that helps. Is cold plunging safe? Heck yeah, it is. Just take some precaution. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Get in the gray.